Hello, everybody. It's awesome to see everyone. Finally, we both got on here.
All right, my
Hello.
volume is quite low, so I'm going to move perhaps uncomfortably close to the camera.
That's fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're just really quiet.
Hmm. That's unusual for me.
All
I'm
right, well,
trying.
I've turned the volume up as far as I can, so we'll
I
see.
turned. I turned my volume up. I don't know. Does that help?
Do it one more time.
No. Can you hear me?
I can, you're just super quiet.
Okay. I hope everybody can hear me. Can you all hear me out there? Hello, everybody.
I see Mary Claire. Hey, Mary Claire.
Hey. Oh, hello. Hello, Heather. Hey, Jill. So we are going to talk about To All the Boys We Loved Before, the second movie, but we are also totally fine with talking about the first movie. I know in the last time when Holly came on, she said she's always willing to talk about Peter's hotness, which we are too, even though we're older.
Yes.
So I hope everybody is doing okay during the quarantine. We are trying to find ways to connect with everyone and just keep talking about books and trying to, while we recognize this is a really hard time, we are just trying to find a way to find some moments of, you know, just talking about books and connecting with each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what did you think of the movie, Jen?
I have to say, I just, all over again, I was giddy. It was so nice. I just had this, yeah, I watched it last night and I was just grinning. Even in the sad parts, it just, yeah. And I've read the book, so I knew what would happen, but I just loved it. I love Laura Jean. Peter, I just kind of felt bad for him. He's fumbling a lot. And I love John Ambrose. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I
They
really
did.
liked
I,
him.
I really thought it was cast well. I mean, like I was worried after the first one who they would cast as John Ambrose,
Uh
but I
huh.
thought they did a great job, and I thought they did it. And I love Laura Jean and the actress who plays her.
Yes.
I see Mary Claire saying cabin fever is real. Yes, try being trapped with two children all day who need constant entertainment and trying to keep them off screens. Woo!
Yeah,
It
it
has
is a
been,
whole different type of cabin fever with kids.
yeah. Yes. I saw Jimmy Fallon doing something. He was like, "It's day 83," and then his wife is like, "No, it's 6."
Right.
And I'm like, I can totally understand that.
Yes.
So so did everybody watch the movie, or are most of you just like cabin fever? Let's just see what Unabridged is up to.
Yeah,
Did
I
you guys
see
watch?
Mary Claire says she doesn't envy us for all that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been interesting.
Hey Becca, I see you. She's quarantined in Florida.
Oh, wow. Holly says she loved the movies. Yeah,
Yes.
I really love them both too. And it's been a while since I read the books. So sometimes when I'm watching an adaptation of a book that I've loved, I get caught up in all the things that are different or all the things I feel like they got wrong. And so I think a little bit of distance was a good thing here because I didn't remember they may have changed everything and like other than the outcome I didn't remember all of the details, so I remember kind of the large strokes, but I
Yeah.
wasn't obsessed with what they had changed, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I really feel like this series, the movie, normally, I'm all about the books, but
Yeah,
really, like when I watched the movies, I just thought they were so well cast, and I loved the way that they filmed it. I just thought it was really interesting. So this is one case when I thought that the movie really added to my love for the books. I really liked it.
I agree.
Yeah, it was very swoony. I see Noelle is saying she hasn't seen the movie, but she's slightly interested, so sell me on it. And she's a hard sell because she's not a huge YA romance
Oh
fan.
yeah,
But I do think that you'd like it, Noelle. It's a good movie for this time in our lives. I think
I was gonna
both the first
say
one.
it's
Mm-hmm.
just such a good escape,
Mm-hmm.
and they are working through real problems, but in a way it feels like the stakes are different from the stakes we're thinking about every day. And
Yeah.
so that was really nice to just be able to turn off my brain for a little bit. I didn't check statistics. I didn't check anything. I just watched it. I took a couple notes and I just really loved it.
That was the same for me. It was like this welcome escape for me because it has been a stressful time. You know, it's a stressful time for everyone, and I think it's a perfect time if you haven't watched them. You then there's two, yes, Noelle Levity. There's two movies you can watch that are low stakes that are just about, but I think everybody can relate to
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I'm going to pause just a second because I hear my children yelling, and I will be right back. So,
That's true life, guys. So, uh, so did you guys feel sorry for Peter during the second movie? I know Jen said she texted me earlier and was like, "I felt sorry for Peter." Did you guys? I felt like I liked Peter better in the movies than I did in the book. Like I definitely had a softer spot for him in the movies than I did in the book.
well, that's what I like him. I thought he makes a lot of mistakes, but they are sweet mistakes. And so I
Yeah.
felt like his intentions were good. He's just kind of clueless sometimes. I see Jill saying, I
Well,
love Peter. And I really did. And I thought John Ambrose is just so sensitive and thoughtful. And so he doesn't have the missteps. But
yeah,
there's something genuine about what Peter tries to do. And the way he falls short, a lot of times are because Laura Jean is comparing the way he's treating her to the way he treated Jen. And he's like, but you're different. Like, I didn't think you would
right.
want to be serenaded every class. And he's right. She
Yeah,
wouldn't. But she feels like there's this external measurement that she's trying to use to figure out, yeah, like how their relationship compares. And so, in a lot of ways, that's what it's at fault, not Peter himself. Although he does some really dumb things, right?
yeah.
Like,
But yeah, but I also think like I think it's really easy to see both sides of that
yeah.
coin, like having because I don't feel like Peter's comparing Laura Jean and
Mm-mm.
Jen, but Laura Jean completely feels that she's that she is being compared at all times.
Uh-huh. I see someone say that, Becca says, I saw a meme that said she should have ended up with the other guy. And I mean, I will say the movie made me think that more than the book did. Like in the book,
Yeah,
I just remember being Peter all the way. And the movie, I mean, John Ambrose is very appealing. Like he is
yeah,
so sweet and so thoughtful, and but he's still funny. He's not overly serious.
yeah.
I really liked him.
I saw Mary Claire. She put that she hasn't watched the movies, but every time I hear the name Peter, it reminds me of The Bachelor. And if you listen to
Oh,
Unabridged, you know that I'm all about The Bachelor, and I agree, Mary Claire, that this season was terrible. So I'm right there with you. However, when I watched the movie, I guess because I had seen the first To All the Boys I Loved before, I didn't have that instant dislike for the name Peter because I already associated him with Peter Kavinsky.
and I
So
do not watch The Bachelor, so I have no negative associations with the name Peter.
Jill says she's still like the other guy, but she's still Team Peter. Me
Yeah,
too.
that's
I
kind of
did
how I
like,
was too.
yeah, and I felt like that more for me was more in the movie. I
Mm.
think because I love Peter just so much. Like I love Noah who plays
Yeah.
Peter. I just think and I think they have such great chemistry, those actors. So then I was like, how dare you, Jill? I see what you said. The Bachelor is garbage. How dare you?
I have no opinion on The Bachelor.
And look, Noelle's agreeing with it. They're ganging up.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
that's friends for you, right?
That's right.
But anyway, I thought it was really well done, and I really liked the dance. I saw Holly say that she wished that the dance would have been the USO theme,
Oh,
like it was in the
yeah.
book, and I hadn't remembered that. But yeah, that would have been
I
nice.
remembered that. I love that whole scene. I loved Stormy. Oh, my goodness. So much. And the advice that Stormy gives Laura Jean. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, this is my notepad. So I was writing, I was writing things down when she says you have to kiss the wrong man to know what's right.
Mm.
And when she says she broke his heart, and yeah, the unbreak it part, I just loved it. I loved what's her name? I wrote it down because I wanted to shout out the actress Holland Taylor. I thought who played Stormy was so good at just being this great character who had been a stewardess and who was owning all this stuff.
Yeah.
And Laura Jean needed that in her life, so I really love that.
Noelle asked, in real life, would a guy like Peter be with a girl like her?
Oh, I
I
think
think,
so.
yeah. And then Becca says, in real life, would Edward Cullen, let's not, Twilight, what really like Bella Swan?
That one is less certain for me, though I am Team Edward all the way. Um, yeah, but I don't know because yeah, he'd lived a long time, and she was pretty. I don't even know the right word. Not even innocent, just gauche. I don't know. I felt like he would have wanted some, but then maybe he had gotten jaded from all these other people, and he wanted something different. Sorry, Twilight's a whole other
Yeah.
thing. But
Hello.
yeah, but yeah, I do think that Peter would like Laura Jean. I mean, Laura Jean is beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
but also in a different way from Jen, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. Really,
In real life,
I thought Harry and Hermione should have gotten together.
and I feel like J.K. Rowling thinks
Yeah,
that too.
I feel like that was a mistake, but
Yeah.
also, yeah, what are you gonna do? That's what it
Yeah.
is. That's canon now. So
Uh,
I
so,
also have to shout out Laura Jean's dad, who played by John Corbett,
uh,
who was such a good dad. He is the sweetest man.
yes. So it's hard for me to see him as anything but his character in Sex in the City, but I think he does a really good job.
I always think about Northern Exposure, which was one of my favorite shows back in the 90s, and I loved his character on Northern Exposure. And I always have to say, trivia, he is from West Virginia, where I am from, and we have very few actors who hail from West Virginia. So I always have to shout out John Corbett, Janet from Three's Company, and Jennifer Garner. Those are my three.
Those are pretty good.
I know, right?
Yeah. Yes. I love Jennifer Garner. So, does any of you have anything to say about the second movie if you've watched?
That's what I'm trying to watch the comments and still make eye contact, which is weird. Jennifer Garner.
There's conversation about Jennifer Gardner.
She's amazing.
I love her. It's hard. Noelle might not. She sometimes goes against the grain.
That's okay.
Did you guys like
stick together?
Did you guys like the casting of John Ambrose? I know. I need to know. I have pulled up IMDb so I would know all the actors' names.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was great.
I was taking some notes.
Jordan Fisher, that's his name.
Uh,
Yes, Holly. Yes, she said that she liked how authentic the relationships were, and they were so messy. But I mean, like when I think about being a teenager, it's totally that way.
Yeah.
And like even when Laura Jean is like, I thought when I had a boyfriend, then I wouldn't even see other boys. And I mean, like
yeah.
she's 16 years old, but you feel that way, and then and then someone comes along.
Well, and then she felt like she didn't know the rules. So
Yeah.
she's supposed to be dressing up for his sporting events, and she didn't know that he wanted that. And he was trying to be sensitive to the fact that that's not her thing. And because he never says, man, this would mean a lot to me, it's like they're expecting the other person to read each other's minds. And of course it's not going to happen. But I do think when you're a teenager and you've read too many romance novels, you expect people just to know. And because of course you should know what the other person's feeling. And so working out the no, you have to say it and you have to communicate. And yeah, but then when, this is a spoiler, I'm assuming everyone on here is okay with spoilers, but if not, when he shows up at the end and he says it's because he knows that she doesn't like to drive in snow.
Oh my God.
I just think that's so sweet because that means he is listening to her. And when she says things, he is paying attention and he really knows her. I love that.
Yes. Yeah, Holly says when she asks him if he misses sex, I mean, she's just so blunt. I do feel like that she is able to ask things that normal, and I use that like quote, but normal teenage girls would not be able to ask.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, I think that's really beautiful. And like going back, Noelle was saying something about Twilight. Like I think like to all the boys I loved before, for teenagers, it offers a more realistic, not taking away the vampire-y and werewolf,
right,
but like it offers this more realistic view into like a teenage relationship. Whereas Bella and Edward, it's like this star-crossed lovers, and like
Mm-hmm.
they are going to do everything that they need to do to be together and stuff. And I mean, that's just, I mean, like it's a fairy tale type of thing, I
Right.
think.
Well,
But
and early on when they promise each other that they'll never break the other's heart, it is so sweet, and they both mean it at the time. But
yeah,
that's a really complex thing to promise,
yeah,
and I think then when Stormy, yeah, everybody's like, that's going to happen. Like, of course you're going to break each other's hearts. And sometimes that
right,
means you can unbreak it and you can get back together, but
yeah.
you're going to hurt each other, and it's how you recover that makes the difference.
Well, I thought one of the most powerful moments was when they were having that conversation and she realizes that he was waiting in the hot tub for Jen. Like, I mean, and I'm like, that is real life.
Did that
And
happen in the book?
I don't remember that happening in the book, but I'm a little bit removed from the reading.
Yeah.
If anybody has read it or like more recently than us, did that happen in the book? I don't remember it, but it
I
seemed
was really taken off guard at that moment.
yeah.
And that, again, it has been years since I read the book, so it very well could have happened. But I was shocked. I was hurt on
Oh,
her behalf.
Holly
It
says
did
it
happen.
does.
Okay, Holly,
Okay.
thank you.
So
Man, I had
yeah,
totally blocked that out.
but I thought that whole interaction, like my gut was like wrenched for both of them because I could see both
Yeah.
sides, but that especially for Laura Jean when I mean, I just thought she did such a great job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I thought when she and Jen have that moment that Laura Jean admits that a lot of her feelings of hurt are also tied up with her having lost Jen as a friend. I
Yeah.
wish they had developed that a little bit more, but I
Hmm.
also thought that she is the kind of self-reflective teenager who would think through things like that and realize that she was not just jealous of Peter, but she was also jealous of Jen, that he had a friendship or a relationship with her and that she missed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I really the actors are so good.
Yeah.
There is not, I don't think there's a false note in the movie.
Mm-mm. And I really feel like I have to remind myself, not that, like, I mean, it feels like a feature film to
Yeah.
me when I watch it, and it's really well done with, yeah, with all. I mean, just like the way that they portrayed even the meals together, like the way that they shot down on the meal.
Yeah.
I just thought that was great.
I really love
Oh yeah,
teenage
no,
friendship themes are good too. Yes, I
yeah.
totally agree.
And like when they were in the wood shop eating the Subway with when she was eating with Chris, and then Trevor comes in, that was great.
Yes.
He's like, I'm just gonna go. I.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I also love Lucas. I think Lucas is such
Yes.
a good friend.
Yes.
And I love the way they support each other.
Yes. Me too. And I mean, I love Laura Jean. Like in those situations where they're at the parties, like I remember that as a teenager, like being at a place where I'm not completely comfortable, but like I also want to not. I don't want to be like lame or whatever.
I
But
was going
I
to say,
just
this still feels like I'm 43 and like I still feel like this in parties.
yes. Well, Jen and I had an experience when we were at Podfest a few weeks ago, and we had to do a mixer where we had to like go to tables with people we didn't know and talk about the podcast and all that. And it was like right back there in those days where I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Yes.
And I mean, I was like looking for the nearest exit, but we did get through it.
We did. We survived.
What was your favorite moment of the movie, Jen?
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. I should have thought of this ahead of time. I should have known this was coming. All right, let me look at my notes. I've got my handy notebook.
Do any of you have a favorite moment of the movie? Anybody? Jill said that our experience at podcast sounds like hell, Jen.
Oh, this is not a favorite this is not a favorite moment, but I thought there were some clever things like the banners in the school that are
Yeah.
announcing kind of the different scenes. I just thought were really clever. Like I just think, like you were saying about a feature film, I just think they're really well made.
I see a couple of people joining us. Hello, everybody. We are discussing the second movie of To All the Boys I Loved Before. So we are right now talking about our favorite scene. So if you have a favorite scene, let us know.
Okay, I don't want to call it a favorite, but another scene I really liked is when Laura Jean is sort of resentful that Peter has not gotten her the serenades and everything like he did for Jen. And instead, he takes her out into the place where they first started the relationship out on the track. And he gets her that beautiful necklace. And he, again, I just think it just shows he's really thought about her and what she might want. And it's so sweet.
Yes,
So
Holly,
sweet.
that's a good one too. Holly put that it was when she didn't want to drive and he came. I
I
know.
love that.
I wish my husband would do that. Don't tell him.
But I do have to say too, and this is a John Ambrose moment, but when she's coming down the stairs after Stormy's gotten her ready and they see each other before the ball,
yeah,
they're so cute. They need like a second movie where it could be like a sliding doors thing where there's a second option.
Yes, Holly, that's awesome. Yes. Jill, don't let him know. Yes, when Holly says that they describe the concept of Jung, and you relate to that because like I loved how Laura Jean says that even when you hate somebody, you can when love turns to hate, you can still be connected to someone. Yeah. And I think that is amazing. Like, I mean, I didn't think that's true. I mean, even if it's not hate, but like when you're connected with someone and it turns into something different, but that you're still connected. I love that idea.
I think too, when they go to visit their mother's family and she realizes that the reason her dad wants them to keep in touch with their Korean heritage and their Korean family is because it reminds him of their mom. I think that part is so well done. And I think you hear more about her mother in the first movie. Mm-hmm. But I think there's just that underlying sense that memories of their mother and their father's mourning for their mother, that's always present and that they are always missing her.
Yeah, and I thought that was something that was done well in the movie and in the book, that like even though they are moving in a different direction, like there is always like looking back at their mom. Like, it's not that it's they have this connection to their mom and like everybody in their life knows it. So even when her dad starts dating Trina, like they are still she knows that they are still connected. I love that whole scene at the table.
Oh my gosh.
They talked about the green beans and stuff. And again, Holly was that in the book, because I don't remember that being in the book, but I just thought it was so beautiful that they were able to, like, there was this new group that was doing this thing that the mom started, and then that they were all able to have, laugh about it and talk about it and share about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was great. And the fact that he's dating her in part because she handles that so sensitively, that she does not try to cover over the memories of their mother. It's really sweet.
Holly says in the book, anytime she...
Oh, yeah, the night tea.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that. Yes. I remember the night tea, yes.
Oh. Yeah, that part's really well done.
Jill's wanted a roller coaster with her children. She said she can't hear because of her kids, and now she's like, now I hear it, and that's what we're talking about. Yes, the Thanksgiving, and I was like, what an awesome idea.
Yeah,
maybe next year when we're not in quarantine, maybe that is something we could do for in March, and my family do a Thanksgiving. I like that idea.
That was really sweet.
Yeah, I didn't think so, Holly. I didn't remember Thanksgiving being in the book, but I thought that was really sweet. Yeah, I really thought that was sweet.
And that makes sense for the movie. That's something that translates well to film.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought all the food stuff, like, I like that in the book, like the baking and like how Laura Jean, kind of her love language was baking and doing things like that for each other. And even when she made Peter the like turn, having this realization that, what happened with the hot tub thing and all that. But one of my favorite, and it's so totally like this small moment, was when I love Kitty for one thing. I think she is so well cast, and she adds so much to the movie that she doesn't particularly add in the book. But I loved when they were at the dinner with the cousin who was on the phone, and they were like talking about Peter and all of that stuff. And then the cousin is like, oh, wow, that's really awesome. And they do the high five. Like, I just love that relationship between the sisters. Yeah. And my sister is on here, my sister Jill, but
Aw.
we have that relationship between us, and so like every time, so getting to see that on film is real. Like, I mean, I can relate to it, and I
Yeah.
really like it.
That's it. Aw, you guys are so sweet. I love my sister also, but she does not read. So she would probably have watched the movie if I had asked her to, but she does not read. So we don't have that bond.
No, you said that is not my reaction.
I
What do
think
you
she's
mean?
talking about the cherry turnovers. Is that right, Noelle?
You didn't like that, Noelle? You would have been sad about the cherry
I
turnovers.
think she was saying, because you said you want to go bake. Does
Oh,
Noelle not bake? Yeah.
yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense.
That made me wish I liked to bake, but I do not. So
Oh,
I'll
I
just
do like to bake.
appreciate other
But
people's
Noelle
baking.
likes to bake. She doesn't like to cook, but she likes to bake. She's a great baker.
Oh, okay. Cooking. Cooking.
Cooking, yeah, yeah. Anybody else have a favorite? Mary Claire says it would never want to
I'm
cook
with you,
or
Mary
bake.
Claire. I admire other people who do it. I think it looks wonderful, but yeah, I'm content to eat and not so much bake or cook. I'm very appreciative of my husband.
Well, I like to bake, but I like to bake all by myself with nobody else with me. And then during these times, that is not easy. Noella, you bake also.
Aw.
So, are you all thinking that we're going to make the third one then?
I'll definitely watch. Did you see? It's supposed to be out this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
That's
checked
awesome.
yesterday. I don't know when, but it said 2020. So I'm hopeful.
Well, I have to say, like, the third book was my least favorite. I don't know why, but I loved the first book, and then I felt like it kind of was like this downward slope. But I really liked the second movie, so I'll be interested to see.
Yeah.
Jill, yes, there's a third one. You have all of my books.
I read them all together, so they really blended together for me. So I
Yeah.
don't remember. Yeah, they're a big
Well,
blend.
I read them in anticipation of the movie, and so I mean, because I wanted to read the books before I
Yeah,
watched the movies.
yeah.
Number
Um,
three is, I was just looking. I have two copies of number three. P.S. I Still Love You or something like that. It's okay, Jill.
I think that might. Is that
Is
this
it
one?
P.S.?
This one's P.S. I Still Love
Okay,
You.
well, uh, the third one had. I don't want to spoil it. I was looking. I think on my YA books I put downstairs because
Oh.
my bookshelf situation is out of control. But oh, yeah,
Forever
there
and
it is.
Always, Lord Jean.
Holly coming to
Holly
the
is in it.
rescue.
Oh, I wanted to say too, the when Peter says "Break my heart, Covey."
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
it's so swoony. And then I'm like, you're 40 years old, Sarah.
I know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Jill's saying that's the second
That's
one.
the
But
second
yeah,
one. Yeah.
Forever and Always Laura Jean is the third. What it and oh, Mary Claire says she feels like trilogies decline, like the Hunger Games, Divergent. Divergent totally
Oh,
like
yeah.
jumped the shark. Like Divergent is like,
Yeah,
I thought
that
the
one.
first one was awesome,
But I do feel that way often with trilogies that
Mhm.
yeah, often I'm totally captured by the first book. I agree with the Hunger Games. I do think with the movie though, I really liked the last Hunger Games movie. So I don't think
Mockingbird.
yeah.
Or,
Well, it's part 1 and part 2 for
oh
Hunger
yeah,
Games.
yeah.
So I mean I liked all of them, but I thought the movies were stronger than the last book.
Yes, Holly. Divergent's ending is a
Yeah.
dumpster fire.
I was
Ugh.
so upset. So that was a year I took students to the National Book Festival, and Veronica Roth was talking about being under this crazy deadline to write the last book, and that she, partway through, hated it and trashed it and started all over. And I was like, yeah. I mean, you can kind of tell that she was just rushed.
Yeah. I remember reading Allegiant and being like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even affected because I was just so annoyed. With Hunger Games, I did not, when I read Catching Fire, the book I thought was kind of slow until like page 150. But then when I watched the movie, I thought it lent itself really well to
Mm-hmm.
movie. And I like that idea that sometimes like a book might be not as captivating in the beginning, but like when you can put it into film, because
Mm-hmm.
like there's just so much stuff happening, but like when you can put it into film, it's easier to see, like easier to. I thought that Catching Fire was the strongest
Yeah.
movie of the series, because so much of the other stuff, like in book one and book three, is happening in Katniss's head. I
Right.
mean, like it's like she's narrating it, so it's hard for that to, you know. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
and Mary
Oh
Claire
yeah, Mary
says
Claire says that
Catching
too.
Fire is my favorite.
Yes, I'm with you
Oh
guys
yeah,
about four. I just
yes, Noel.
heard that. Oh, you'll know this too, Sarah, because you listen to the podcast. Jamie was talking about Sanditon, I think is how you say it. It's based on Jane Austen's unfinished book, and the guy who played four is in that, which made me want to go watch it. And I
Yes.
do love Jane Austen too. Oh yeah,
Oh,
and Finnick.
Finnick, yes. And
Oh,
then also that sad movie. I know Jill knows what it is. That's based on a book. The one with the guy,
the
that
JoJo
Finnick O'Hare
Moyes.
was in it. No, what was it, Jill? It was Finnick was in it. He was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, the JoJo Moyes book.
Yeah, Jojo Moyes. Yes, yes. Sorry,
Um, I can't remember what it's called.
I wanted to see it, but I couldn't. Me before you, Holly.
Yes.
Holly is like
I know.
right with all
Holly's
the
got it
things.
all.
Oh, there
Oh
comes
yeah,
Jill
Jill
with
has it
it
too.
too.
That was a good. Those books, I liked all those books. There were three of those.
I just cannot read anything sad. I
Oh,
can't. Yeah, I'm just like averse to anything. Not. I mean, I know that things are sad sometimes, but I'm like, I try to just. I'm trying to distance myself from that stuff at the moment, but maybe one
Jill
day I'll
says
read
that
it.
trilogy is wonderful, and I agree. I really liked all those books.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
all about
I mean, I.
crying. I will sob happily.
Well, if you listen to Under Bridge, you always hear Jen saying that her husband Kirk is comes up and asks if she's okay because she's always sobbing.
Yes, he just knows. He'll just be like, "Are you okay? Is it another sad book?" Yes. I'm sorry.
Does anybody have anything else? Look at Noelle's like hard no. Does anybody else have anything that they want to talk about the movie? Oh, Ashley just joined. She was putting her
Oh,
kids
hey,
to
Ashley.
bed. Hey, Ashley.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he's going to be in Daisy Jones in the
I didn't
Six.
know that.
I
I
think
love
that is
Daisy Jones.
perfect casting. I am so excited about that.
I'm hoping actually. I have a couple of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books that I haven't read yet, and I'm hoping to read them. I've had a little bit of a hard time concentrating on my books, but I'm hoping to read a couple of those.
The Fever books.
Oh my gosh, those are about fairies.
Oh, I like fairies. Which Fever books?
Dark Fever. I have the first one. I didn't finish it, but I can.
There's going to be a Daisy Jones movie. I forget when it's coming out. Daisy is Elvis Presley's granddaughter. I forget her name. I can't remember her name. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Did all of you all read Daisy Jones and the Six? Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid is really good too.
Oh yeah, I like that one a lot. I like her books in general. I've read
Yeah.
one of my book clubs read one where it's almost sliding doors, like she has two lives that she's choosing between, and you see the different paths she could take, and it was quite good.
Oh,
Riley
Riley.
Keough. I don't know how you say her last name.
And also Little Fires Everywhere. We read that. The three, we didn't talk about it on the podcast. We've talked about it on the podcast, but it wasn't like a book club book. But yesterday, Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington did an Instagram live and said that they released it early. But so I saw that it was on Hulu.
I cannot wait to watch that.
Yeah.
I just finished Lock and Key, and that was a great film adaptation. Although I shouldn't say it was a great adaptation. It was a great series. I haven't read the books yet, which is unusual. And then my husband and I are going to watch the newest season of Outlander soon, I think. I hope. We haven't started it yet.
No, I haven't watched it yet, Little Fires, but I will
Yeah.
definitely be watching it.
The first 3 episodes are out. I don't know if it's a 10-episode series.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I do. Maybe this will be the subject of another Instagram live. But I was kind of surprised at the casting in that one because in my head I had something different. You know how you get.
Yeah, Ashley says she can't wait to see Little Fires. So Yeah, maybe we'll have to switch out. We can
Yeah,
do different combinations of us talking about some of these adaptations.
yeah. Because we are always here for an adaptation. We
That's
love that.
right. I want to watch all the things and read all the things. Can we start a
Oh
petition for
yeah,
it? Oh, yes. I
Holly,
love that book so much.
I saw you talking about that on your Instagram stories, and then Jen and Ashley. There comes Ashley. I saw them both talking about it, or
Yeah.
no, they both talked about it, and I really
Oh,
want
Sarah, you would love it. I cannot wait to read the sequel. I'm saving that for a day that I think I can just like do it in one sitting or as close as possible when my children are home.
to.
I'll let them have all the screen and I'll just read. It'll be fine.
Yeah. No, we're having the screen time battle here.
Yeah.
Are there any other movies that you guys would like to see? We're actually thinking about doing an unabridged episode about this coming up. But
Mm-hmm.
any other movies that you would like to see, or sorry, any other books that you would like to see adapted to movies?
It's really good. Noelle, it is really
Yeah,
good.
I think you would like that, Noel.
It's a great fantasy based on a fairy tale. It's excellent. Oh, Holly's read the sequel already. Yeah, I'm excited. Although then it's going to be hard to wait for book 3.
That's where I'm like, I'm out because I can't keep it all in my head. I can't keep all that in my head and then having to wait for the book to come out. That's really hard for me.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Noelle with that Fever series, The Fairies.
All right, I'm making a note. I'm going to look it up. I don't know who the author is.
Ashley says she needs to get her hands on the sequel.
I bought it on Kindle, Ashley. That's how I have it. It was on sale, I think. Or maybe I just splurged and just bought it full price. I don't know.
Yeah, if you guys aren't watching the Kindle deals, they're running some really good deals.
Yeah.
Modern Mrs. Darcy, Ann Bogle, she has a blog and a podcast, but she has, if you subscribe to her email list, she kind of curates some of the Kindle deals, and then also Book Riot does that too. Yeah, Giver of the Stars, Joe. I'd love to see that.
Oh, I love that. That would make a great
Yeah,
movie too.
the
Oh yeah, the
selection.
selection would be
Yes,
great.
yes.
Yes.
I would love the selection. I
Did
love the
anybody read this was older, Wither? That was a great dystopian trilogy. My kids loved it. Ashley, yeah, may have to get just splurge, Ashley. We can read it together. Girl power.
What's girl power, Jill? Or
She
is it just like girl power?
that's what I wasn't sure if she was being like. Yeah, I think the selection would be great.
Yeah.
All those Bachelor fans,
Oh my
Sarah,
god.
you guys would all love
And
that.
Mary Claire. I mean, we definitely need to talk about The Bachelor. I'm very sad the Bachelorette season is been postponed. I mean, I understand why, but I'm also sad. But I think they're going to run an older season.
That's interesting. I keep wondering what's going to happen. Like, we're watching Survivor now. I'm assuming that the finale will just be without an audience. And then the boys have been watching The Voice, and I don't know what they'll do. Yes, we were talking about what books should be made into movies. I just got off topic.
Yes, that's what we've been talking about, the selection. We have to have the selection.
That would be great. Well, and it has all those spin-off series, too. My niece loves these books, and so she's read all the spin-offs. I think that would be really rich.
Mm-hmm. I love that series.
Yeah.
So good.
It's really good.
And I would like, I know that Children of Blood and Bone. Oh, Jill just said that my phone is slow.
That did have some great girl power.
Yeah. But the Children of Blood and Bone movie is supposed to be coming Red Rising.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Holly. I love that. Are you reading the spin-off trilogy yet, Holly? They are so good too. I love those books. Yes. It would have to be HBO. Oh my goodness. It is so dark. I thought it was YA, but I'm wondering if it's actually YA now. It is this dystopian series that has all this like great Greek or Roman mythology, super violent, but just these great characters. And so there was a trilogy, and then there's a second trilogy now that's continuing the story. Oh, is your library closed, Holly? Ours is closed now.
Ours is close too, where I am.
all my hold stuff. Well, I didn't actually have that many things on hold. Most of my stuff on hold were ebooks, but yeah, that I really have enjoyed that. His world building is incredible. The author is Pierce Brown, and he is great.
I haven't read those, but I have seen tons of fandom on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like on Etsy, there's tons.
Oh,
Oh, it's an
yeah.
adult
I think
sci-fi.
that makes much more sense. I don't think it should be YA. Oh, yours closed on Friday.
Yeah.
I just read All the Stars and Teeth, which is the first book in a new YA fantasy series, and that was good. It reminded me a lot of Children of Blood and Bone, though there wasn't the interesting incorporation of African mythology. And then I also read Maggie Stiefvater's the first book in her new trilogy is Call Down the Hawk, which is a spinoff of the Raven Cycle. And that was really good too. And I think that the Raven Cycle would make a great movie or
My
probably TV series.
I'm really excited to see the Six of Crows, Lee Bardugo like mashup if it gets made now. But I'm really excited to see that because Ashley and Jen talked about. I had not read Lee Bardugo, and I love fantasy, but I hadn't read, and so Ashley recommended Six of Crows. If you all haven't read that, it's really good. It's like a fantasy heist book. Noelle, I think you'd really like that. But it is supposed to be made like sort of like a mesh of a couple things, right?
Yeah. No,
That,
well, yes. Maggie Stiefvater is Shiver, that whole
yeah,
series. So the
yeah.
Raven Cycle is 4 books, and then the Dreamers is her new trilogy. And I liked the Shiver books, but I think the Raven Cycle is even better. I liked it more.
My students love the Shiver series.
Yeah,
That, and I taught eighth grade, so
it
like
was
that
very
was
Twilighty without being quite as compelling as Twilight. And that's what I thought anyway. But, oh, Emily Giffen's good. Which of hers have been adapted?
the one with Kate Hudson. Jill, we went to see that one. What was that one called? Something Borrowed. It was Kate
Oh, there was
Hudson.
one called Something Borrowed. Oh, good night, Jill.
Bye, Jill. Noelle, you should read Lee Bardugo.
Yeah. I know we are talking about Twilight a lot, Mary Claire.
I know, and I haven't talked about that in a long time. We sometimes talk about it on the podcast a bit, but not a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, yeah. It's Holly said only something borrowed.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I like Giffen. She's good.
Yeah.
What else is good? I'm looking at my books over here. Give me a sec. Yeah, I don't know anything else recently that I can think of. I feel sure I'm overlooking something that would make a great adaptation.
Yeah. I don't know. There's several that I'm excited about seeing, like Daisy Jones and all of that stuff. Daisy Jones and Lee Bardugo.
Sarah J. Maas
Yeah.
would be great. I would be nervous because those are such high fantasy. I think they could go really wrong, but if they were done well, they could be great. I love her. Oh, Lunar Chronicles would be great. Those are good books. Her new superhero trilogy, I think, would make a good series.
You know, one that I thought when I read it, I'm grabbing it off my shelf. I'll be right back. Was this one?
Oh, yeah.
So, have you guys read this one? Oh, yeah.
Kiss, Potion, and Bride Test. Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, The Farm, I think, would be great.
That would be a great book.
Yes, to Lunar Chronicles. Yeah, anything Marissa Meyer. I think she's would be great for adaptations.
Well, I think this was really fun, guys. I know that we maxed out at an hour, so I don't want to like cut it off so that way if people want to watch it. But thank you all for joining in. It was awesome. It was such a great discussion, and we hope to do more of these because we love getting to talk to everybody live.
Night, Mary Claire.
Night, Mary Claire. Night, Jill. Noelle. I feel like it's like a kids program. Good night.
Missing. Ashley's still on there. Bye, Ashley.
Bye, guys. But thank you for watching and joining in, and we hope to do some more of these.
Mwah.
Bye, Jen.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Jen.
Bye.
Bye.